Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka Be Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend. And so today is episode 2 of our Ageless Beauty series. So we're picking up where we left off for episode 1 and we're building the look here. So we're adding color, we're balancing out additional features. So let's get started, but you know the drill. Before we get started, what are we sipping on? I'm still sipping on my Caprina with my Kashasha. And so if you're over 21, grab your favorite alcoholic beverage and join me so we can sip and see together. And if you're under 21, grab your favorite non-alcoholic beverage and let's sip and see how to do this look together. All right, let's get started.
So for this one, we're gonna work on creating a balanced eye for our Ageless Beauty. So we're gonna start out with a little bit of an eyeshadow primer. I'm using one just for a couple of different reasons. 1, to even out the color on the eyelid. 2, to even out any texture on the eyelid. So this one is not going to be overly drying, but the great thing about this primer is slightly oil absorbing as well, so that way any excess oil won't crease the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush because again, the eyeshadow primer should be more like a silk stocking to the eye and not an opaque tight. So I'm going to start center of the eyelid and I'm going to sweep it across. So I'm going to place it here. Sweep it in, sweep it out, and bring it all the way up. You can stop in the socket, or depending on the color of it, you can bring it all the way underneath the brow bone. It's up to you. This one is a peachy, slightly nude color, which works great for LaGale's complexion. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. So this helps to give us a platform to build our color. Now let's talk about eye shapes here. Our Ageless Beauty has what we call a slightly descending eye, meaning the corner of the eye slightly turns downward, which on average, looking at a person with a slightly descending eye can make them look a little sleepy at times. So what we want to do is we want to balance that out. In addition, there is a great socket here, but we want to work against the descending piece of the eye so we can create a little bit more balance. So I'm going to start with a nice warm champagne gold on the eyelid to brighten up the lid itself. Still using the same fluffy brush. Starting in the center, I'm going to press. And then we're going to sweep it across at the lash line. We're going to pull it up, stopping right in the socket. Using the tip of the brush just to blend. I'm going to add a little bit more color just to brighten up the eye. Why not? With the eye open, this is when you begin to really look to see how you can balance out the eye. Being a little bit closer will allow us to walk through step by step on really how to balance out a descending eye. So I'm going to use a medium tone warm brown to start to create a natural shadow before we go any darker. So this warm brown has almost like a reddish Georgia clay tone to it. Not too red, but just dark enough to give us a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to use just the tip of the brush. With the eye open, we're going to start to trace out the shadow piece of the eye. So I'm laying my brush on the outer corner and I'm sweeping it inward, working right on the actual socket and the actual socket bone and bringing it back down. So we're placing the concentration of color right on the descending part of the eye. We're sweeping it in and up, stopping halfway through because of this eye shape. We're going to take this makeup a little bit more of a sultry or daytime eye because I want to do a really nice, bold, bright color on our Ageless Beauty. So with the eye open, I'm going to take a little bit of a deeper brown, slightly a little bit more gray, and I'm going to work directly now in the socket a little bit more to create more shape right on that bone, and I'm pulling it back down to the corner where we originally started our shadow. So we're gradually making this darker, so it's darker here and a little bit lighter through there. With the light on the eyelid and closer to the inner tear duct, it starts to really open that eye up to be a little bit more balanced. And you can add a little bit more of that lighter color back on the lid. I'm placing it right on the center just to bring attention there. Slight frost. Frost is good in moderation. You want to be mindful of the texture of the skin that you're working on.
Pause for the cause, because that was a good tip. We're gonna move into the next one, but what do we do next? Let's get our sip on. Let's get our sip on. All right, next tip coming up.
So now we're gonna do a little bit of eyeliner. So for this look, I decided to do something creamy, a nice deep eggplant just to enhance. It's all about placement. So we're gonna place it on the outer corners of the eye. Look down for me, perfect. And we're gonna work it a little bit more at an angle. Now, if you wanted to do a straight line here, you could bring it all the way through. But I'm gonna actually take this liner and use it to enhance the eye by diffusing it out some. So I have my line, I'm using my pencil brush, and I'm just gonna go slightly back and forth on the liner itself to create the shape that I want, smoothing it out, but also creating a little bit of a shadow. So I'm taking the liner and I'm pushing it up some. So I'm going back and forth, up, 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 but I still have the effect of liner here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of liner on the bottom, connecting it from the top, bringing it underneath to really, again, balance out the eye. All the way up for me, perfect. So I'm starting in the corner where the eye slightly descends down, and I'm pulling my liner through very gently, working in the lash line itself. You can go all the way in. For this look, I'm gonna actually stop halfway. I'm gonna use that pencil brush again to softly diffuse. Whatever's left on the brush, if you want to shadow it in, you can, or you can add more. Let's do the other eye. If you need to balance it out, you can start underneath and pull up as well to create that shadow. So what that does, it helps to create a little bit more of a lift from the outer corner and gives us a little bit more of a shadowy effect. If you want to deepen it, maybe make it a little bit more sultry or evening eye, you can take a shadow in the same color family as the eye pencil and deepen it in that same placement. Let's go ahead and do it. Why not?
Sure.
I'm going to use this pencil brush again so I can be very strategic with my placement. Outer corner. Bringing it up slightly. And look up for me. And then doing the same thing on the bottom. And we're just placing it on top of that liner. For this look, we can add a little bit of product underneath the brow for a nice brow highlight, mascara, and then the eyes are good to go. Grab a white gold color. We'll start at the arch. We'll sweep it out using that fluffy brush. This way, we don't see any lines. If you want, you can assess the look and say, is this dark enough or do I want to go a little richer? Let's make it darker. Add a little blush, and we're about to wrap this up with our lip.
Hey guys, all right, so that brings us to the end of episode 2. Stay tuned, because we're gonna finish this off tomorrow with part 3 of this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy. Until then, you know what to do. Let's sip and see together. Make sure your notifications are on, and if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Subscribe. Until tomorrow, love you lots. Bye.